Hello, this is Greg from Lofty Pursuits. Thank you for watching, we appreciate that. Today we're going to take a new take on candy corn. Now, I know some of you don't like candy corn. Ours is going to be different. It's going to be corn candy. I've always wondered, sweet corn is such a wonderful candy flavor. It may not be common in the United States, but it's so delicious. Why isn't candy corn flavored as corn? So we thought we'd do this as a variation on a theme, like something you do with classical music or even paintings. We're going to do it with corn. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the corn candy in 4 flavors. Flavor 1 will be sweet corn with butter and salt. We've done this before, and it's delicious. It's one of our most popular flavors. Flavor 2 is going to be a honey chili corn. Flavor 3 is going to be a caramel corn, going back to the influences of candy, maybe a caramel popcorn. And the last one is what we're going to be making today. It's going to be the corn that you get in a low country boil. That's a South Carolina deep meal with lots of different ingredients, but in the boil goes ears of corn, usually cut short, and they taste unique because of the spices in the water. And we can capture that because it's sweet corn as candy. There is some wonder in candy, and I guess all foods. Flavor has to be a wonder. How does it work? Why do you taste something and it brings on an emotion or memory, or makes you happy, or gives you pain with a hot food, or brings you pain then makes you happy? There are all sorts of things that it does. What it really seems to do is to tell a story, and we're telling a story of corn. And that's kind of, well, corny, but it's also a bit of wonder in every piece of candy. So the candy starts like all of our candy. It starts by getting a pot of hot sugar and boiling it to 310 degrees approximately. And it's already got its flavor in it, or some of the flavor. And we're going to pour it on our 150-year-old candy cooling table. I've been asked from time to time, how do you keep this old equipment working? And most of our equipment is about 100 to 150 years old. And the answer is we take care of it ourselves. We actually did a live stream last week of me fixing this candy cooling table. A metal part broke off the bottom of it, the one that allows water to go in. I had to machine one just like the old one. And I did. It took me about an hour, and then we mounted it on. And I did it as a live stream. So if you want to look that up, you can. So the hot sugar is cooling on the candy cooling table. And when it cools, it's going to change consistency. But before it gets all the way cool, we're going to add our food coloring. And we do this with a liquid food coloring that has water in it. Now, water will make candy sticky. So we stir it. And by stirring it, it exposes it to the very hot candy. Not only does it partially cool the candy like we need it to, but it boils off all the water. Our goal here is to have less than 0.5% of water in each piece of candy, and that can be a battle in Tallahassee since we're a fairly high humidity community. When the food coloring is poured, we now have our palette of colors. We're going to be making an identical piece of candy corn in each piece of candy, and the outside wrap will tell you the flavor.
Ready whenever you are.
Now that the candy is cooled somewhat, it's actually quite cold where it comes into contact with the metal, but where it's not, it's still a little liquid. We got to get it the same temperature all the way around. But we also have to separate the colors. This is the perfect time to do this. And when we separate the colors, we drip the candy to the table. And by doing this, we're able to even the temperatures and get to a working consistency. For this, we're going to add spice. It's our own spice mixture, but yes, there's Old Bay in there, which is in every old country boil. We got to be traditional. And we're going to add it a little later than normal, because the spices we're afraid of burning. So it's going to be folded in there and be in a suspension. This is where the magic happens. Your brain pieces together the flavor. The image may be of candy corn, but the taste is going to take you to something completely different. And it's going to do that because the flavors are assembled in your mouth after you eat it. The corn is in the sugar, the low country boil is in the spice, and the spice has to dissolve in your mouth. So just like a real piece of corn from a low country boil, you're going to get a sweet taste of corn immediately, and almost instantly it's going to phase into something different. and it's going to be fun. The background is going to be white, but we don't have any white. We need to make it, and for that we use our candy hook. And we pull the candy and we fold in millions of air bubbles, and each air bubble reflects light individually. Sort of like the top of a glass of root beer. The root beer is brown, the head is white. And this is because those little bubbles act as little mirrors, catching the light and spreading it out into the white spectrum. So we do white, sometimes without white food coloring. Now that the art is built, we're going to put the white wrap around it. The white wrap acts as padding and it's pulled candy. And the pulled candy dissolves faster in your mouth, so this gives a more immediate flavor.
It'll be corn candy. Low country boil corn.
We're now going to put the wrap on. It's a solid color. This is the color that tells you what flavor it is. And we're going to wrap it around the candy before we take this log of candy and pull it down into rods. Now that it's tapered, we bring it over to our batch roller. This batch roller keeps it moving so it doesn't go flat. And we're able to, from this, pull out rods and let them cool. Once the rods come out, they have much more surface area to center area, so they cool pretty fast. Thank you for watching our video. I really appreciate it. If you want to try this candy for yourself, go to our website, www.pd.net. That's P like Peter and D like David. It stands for Public Displays of Confection, which is what we're doing right now. And we'd like you also to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. When you're on our website, you can sign up for our email list and find out when we come up with new things. And of course, we do have a Patreon account, and there are all sorts of benefits for Patreons. So thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video.